So Scottish Forestry commissioned Forest Research to help them select a shortlist of productive tree species for Scotland. That's species which are suited to climates both now and in the future. The idea is that this shortlist will then provide a focus for actions across the whole sector to help diversify the forests that we have in Scotland and the range of species that we use in productive forestry. It provides a way to prioritise our research and development activities. For example, in tree improvement and in nursery practice, in silviculture and wood properties research, and also product development. And also it provides guidance to the sector, to seed collectors, nursery managers, foresters and producers, so that they know which species to focus on. So the idea is that together all these actions will help diversify our forests and ultimately improve their resilience to climate change and the risks of pest and disease outbreaks in the future. The shortlist is a key action in Scottish Forestry's route map to resilience. So we assessed the performance of a long list of 64 candidate species against 8 different criteria. Now those criteria were selected through a workshop with lots of stakeholders a couple of years ago that we organised with Scottish Forestry, and it includes everything from tree improvement potential and plant and seed supply, silviculture, site and climate suitability, productivity, but also tree health risks, biodiversity value, environmental impacts, and finally wood properties and end use. And so for each of those criteria, we gathered all the information that we could, all the evidence, and supplemented that with expert judgment and used it to assemble a provisional shortlist. Now that shortlist we then took out to consultation and ran it past lots of stakeholders representing different parts of the sector to see what they thought of it. And so we scrutinised the list, looked at all the evidence, and made some changes and eventually reached a consensus on what the species should be on the shortlist. So the shortlist has 28 different species, 14 conifers and 14 broadleaves. So among the conifers there are species that we're all very familiar with, for example Sitka spruce, Scots pine, Douglas fir, but also some which are rather less well known, for example Japanese cedar and Macedonian pine, and coast redwood also, and some of the fir species including grand fir, noble fir, Pacific silver fir and European silver fir. And so for the broadleaves, many of them are natives, and so they're very good for biodiversity value. So we have birch, oak, cherry, aspen. What's really important though is that across the whole palette of species that we've selected, we needed to make sure that we had species which could be used in a range of different silvicultural systems and also on different site types and climatic regions, both to the east and the west of Scotland and at different altitudes, and also species that could provide for a range of different markets. So exclusion from the shortlist doesn't mean that a species shouldn't be grown, which depends on the objectives of the land manager and the site type and the local conditions. There are now plans to do a similar exercise in England and also in Wales. So in England that's funded by DEFRA and that's running at the moment. And hopefully will follow suit in Wales very soon. And all that work will be overseen by the UK Forest Genetic Resources Group. So they will make sure that the actions that follow from these 3 country shortlists are coordinated at UK level, so that we can make the most of this opportunity to work together as a sector and really focus our attention on diversification to make sure that our forests are resilient.